And so I'm going to start at the top with just understanding the concept of referral. So we're trying to create a referral mission. It's been said of Cicero when he was talking to the Greeks that after he spoke, they would say, nice speech. But of Demosthenes, when he spoke to the Romans, after they heard him speak, they would say, let's march. Let's march for freedom. Let's march for integrity. Let's march for fairness. Let's march for justice. So people will march, people will take action when there's a greater purpose to what we're doing than just ourselves. And so the foundation of referral is that there's a purpose here, that people are dying out there, that these conditions that are unnecessary, autism, Alzheimer's, heart disease, cancer, are epidemic and pandemic, and we can do something about it as a team. So it's not really that I'm asking for referral so that you would bring me more business and I can make more money. What I'm saying here is, will you help me? On our mission? The idea is this is our mission, mine and the patients, the staff, all the patients that are part of this clinic. It's our mission, not my mission. It's our business, it's our movement, it's not mine. So we try to make the relationship shift from bring me people to who are we bringing in. If I'm having a discussion, and this is kind of where the rubber tends to meet the road, if we're talking about the next door neighbor you were telling me about. So you were telling me about Mary next door, and she has bad headaches. And we recognize this could be subluxation that's going to do more damage than simply just a headache. This is a deadly subluxation. She's taking dangerous medications. She's not able to spend time with her family, so it's wrecking the family. It's hurting the future these kids will have. It's potentially going to end the marriage. That we got to get Mary in. So if the patient just says to me, well, I try to get her into your office and it's just not working, she won't. If I'm in the right frame of mind, if we've mapped this out accordingly, if this mission component to our clinics is working like it should, then what I'm going to say to Mary is, Mary, what can we do? What do we need to do to get your neighbor in? What else can you do? What else can I do? And so we're working together to get this person in, because that is the mission of this clinic. So how do we get there? And what we're putting together today, this whole process, this whole paradigm, is that referral is simply part of the patient process in the clinic. It's just part of the procedures, so that on any number of interactions, just under the normal process that a patient goes through, there's going to be referrals just as part of the process. It's not an extra thing, in other words. So it's not, okay, Mary's coming in, we've never asked Mary for referrals. That wouldn't be possible, because by Mary simply going through the procedures, she already would have had multiple interactions related to referrals. That's the foundation to this thing. It's just built into everything that we're doing. And then on top of that, again, which the context of this that covers all of it, is that we are involved in a mission, and that people are ready to march because there's a mission out there that impacts all of our lives, this entire community, and the world as we know it. So starting from that point, this is intentionally laid out this way. I'm going to go through 10 different points right now related to building the type of office we're talking about and what should be. And here's the metric. Here's the number to measure yourself by. If you're seeing 200 a week, and obviously it could fluctuate whether or not you're somebody who's seeing more people than others. Some people 200 a week is seeing 40 people 200 times. So depending on how many even individual patients you have, you should be getting at 200 a week around 20 referrals per month. And that number sounds startling to some of you, but I can tell you for a lot of my clients, that's standard. They're going to go about a 20 a month average at 200 a week. Meaning if you're seeing 1,000 a week, then that should be, you should be 50, 60, 70 is what I'm familiar with of referrals. But it's only if we've accomplished what we're about to walk through. So first of all, I like the patient family dinners. I believe that should be baked into every one of your offices a certain number of times per year, because it's simply a chance to sit down with your best people and discuss the mission of this office and have an interaction about how they can be involved in saving your community. And so without that, we're missing an opportunity to have that conversation with the people that we are seeing are engaged. And obviously part of the patient family dinner is increasing engagement. And I don't see this as work. I mean, this is, going out with your best people. This is just part of what it looks like to be a business owner and be part of something important. The next natural event we hold is something called the Love Orlando, or it could be the Love Belleville or the Love Columbus, but we have our Love Orlando project. And this, in essence, is a leads contest. And so this is where we are talking to the patients, we're sending information out and sharing with them that it is our mission to bring the principles of chiropractic and this type of healthcare to this community for the saving of many lives. Once again, the cancers, the autism, the Alzheimer's, the heart disease, the early death, the children suffering, these are unnecessary and inexplicable, given the fact that if we just adjusted these people and got them here in this office leading a chiropractic lifestyle, these conditions, these problems would not exist, or they would exist at a fraction of the way they are occurring in our community right now. Again, will you help us? So what we're doing is we're offering up a fish. We're saying, hey, there's a prize, so if you win the drawing, there's this really nice prize, and maybe there's some sub prizes. And what we're asking them to do in the leads contest, and all of this is in our manuals how to do this, but that we are simply saying, bring in leads that you've spoken to, and for 1 lead you get 1 raffle ticket, 2 leads you get 3 raffle tickets, 3 leads you can get 10 raffle tickets, and we just keep the number growing. And then you will have a chance to win this prize. But that's the fish. But most importantly, it's about loving Orlando. It's about saving lives. And that becomes a foundational part of the office that we do twice a year, because we're getting that message clearer and clearer. Another component of this, I would call it, and this is the workshops. We want that opportunity to be in front of people on a regular basis and talk about this mission. So we open, we close, and we pull through the entire program, this mission that we're on. And we're very clear from the very beginning of those talks, before we're done, we feel the most important part of tonight is this sheet you've all got, where we will figure out how else can we go out into the community and teach this message. And who do you know that needs to get in here? I would expect before we're done, you would empty out your cell phone. I don't care if they live in a different state. We'll find them the right chiropractor, but you will empty out your cell phones onto this piece of paper. In fact, we're locking the door. There's an armed guard outside, and the only way to get past him and get the key to get out that door is that you would have emptied out your cell phone on this piece of paper, so people stop dying. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast recently, and they were discussing, and I forget the person's name who did this, but famous event that occurred in the news, where they were at the Subway, not the restaurant, or if you call it a restaurant, not the sandwich shop, but the actual Subway in New York City, and somebody had a seizure and fell on the tracks. Well, one man jumped onto the tracks, rolled this person into this tight little space between the 2 tracks. And as the trains were ripping by, this person held the other man having the seizure down in the space, as literally subway trains are passing, and they could feel it bumping practically up against their faces. They had like mud and stuff from how close it was. And until this guy was done with the seizure, and he carried him off the tracks and saved this man's life. I mean, incredibly heroic story. And the point of that story relative to referrals is They talked to the other people on the tracks and said, what were you doing? And what they said was they were pointing, oh, look, somebody fell into the subway tracks. But one person wasn't a pointer. He was somebody that was willing to save the man's life. So do you want to be a pointer or do you want to save lives? Well, people are dying out there. We need your help to save their lives. Don't just point at it. Don't just post it on Facebook. Help us save their lives. So there's all kinds of great stories, ways to make it clear when we have the opportunity at these talks to help us save lives. And as I'll get into here in a moment, not helping us is unacceptable. You won't get along well here because we only sell mission. We don't have another product. You don't go to the Ford dealership and ask if they sell lingerie or watches. They don't. They sell Fords. Well, here we don't sell lingerie, watches, or Fords. We sell the mission. That's all we do here. So as you go into 2020, as we get prepared for our best year yet, we've got to decide right now that we're not pointers either, and we don't take care of pointers. We only have the mission. So as we get into some of these next components, that's kind of setting the stage, and it's again so people are ready to march, is we have processes that make it impossible for you not to bump into referral any number of times. The number in my head is I'm looking for 13 different times within your 60-day plan, you'd ram right into the referral process and couldn't get away without referring. So for example, as a process, we say on Mondays, we have 3-card Monday. And that may not be a business card, but something you're getting on Monday that you're getting 3 of with the intention that these are tools you'll pass out. Because when I tell you to jump and save the man's life and not to point, I also have to give you opportunity and tools. Opportunities are things like PADs. They are things like an open dinner. There are things like a talk. Those are opportunities, and tools are what I'm going to hand you on Monday. 3 of this could be a free phone consultation card. This could be a card. It could be a PAD come in for a free evaluation at the office. There's any number of things I can hand them, but they're getting 3 every Monday or at their very first adjustment of the week. And if somebody says, oh, I still have the ones from before, no. No, you don't. Those are supposed to go to other people. So make sure that you get those ones and get those other people, and that's 3. So for the other 247 people, because we know that all people have 250 relationships as an average, find 3 other people to give these other 3 things to. But we until we're getting 3 referrals a week out of you, you're pointing still. The next thing is that it's the object of the relationship. Again, we've made it clear at the POC, your patient orientation class, or your doctor's report, that's the object here. So you're going to expect, because we've shared with you at the beginning, expect for us to constantly ask you. And again, we've given them context that it's because people are dying out there and we need your help, and they've agreed to help. So just expect these 3 cards or these 3 pieces of paper every Monday. Just expect at every re-exam, we're going to ask who you know. Just expect the fact that we have monthly events, and we're going to ask who you're bringing as part of this mission. The re-exam. So we all know that the re-exam should contain some component of referral. There's a few processes there that exist not only there, but in other parts of the patient's procedures. The first revolves around, again, my attitude about it. So as an example, many of you know Dr. Dan Yachter. He's a famous chiropractor. Well, he was my exam doctor for a pretty long time. And Dan knew you had to get at least 2 names at every re-exam. Those of you in charge of re-exams right now are possibly cringing, but in my clinic, that was the procedure, 2 names for referrals. That again, the person would help us get not just 2 cold leads, but 2 names. And Dan was given my permission that if that patient gets mad at you and gets really upset by that part of the conversation, that's fine. I'm happy to see them leave because we don't sell something else. That's what we do here. And so in all that time that Dan was there, only one person ever got angry, and she was truly angry. She came back firing out of that room to get adjusted and said, I am here for myself, for my headaches, and you have helped my headaches, but I'm not here to build your business. And again, I was happy to see her go if the next part of this conversation did not go well. I said, listen, and we've told you at the beginning, people are dying out there. Dan's not trying to get business out of you any more than I am. I care about somebody with a condition like yours that is suffering unnecessarily. And I'll share a story with them, for example, of somebody, and I could share several of these stories where there's been divorce because the dad or the mom has to lock themselves in a room when these migraine headaches come on. There's been many, many deaths by the drugs. These are dangerous medications that people take. Children need their mom or need their dad focused and excited to be with them, and they don't get that with a mom or dad that is constantly suffering from headaches. So that's why we're asking you to help us, not for business, but to save lives and to make this world a better place for all of us to live in. And she got it. And so that person did not quit, but I would have been okay seeing her go if she didn't want to be on this mission. So it's 2 names for every re-exam. By the way, there's a lady named Jenny who, after Dan moved on to open up his own clinic, was a layperson. She took Dan's job. She was better at it than Dan. She got more people. She thought 2, in her mind, that's a minimum. These people know a lot more people. So she was really looking for 5. So she'd come out of there 3, 4, 5, 10, not 2. Dan was great at 2. This woman averaged more 5 to 10 because she really got this mission. And she also had my permission to piss anybody off she wanted to piss off, because this is what we do here. We only sell mission. Part of this, you've heard like my scripting. So part of this is like they're dying out there is a big part of my script, and it's a big part of my team's script. So they'll say to my team, well, I don't know anybody. My team will say, you've heard Dr. Ben say it a lot. People are dying out there. So it's not just who do you know with low back pain. You're going to work right now. How many people do you work with? 10, 20, you work at Disney, you work with 2 million. So it's all those people that need to come in because they're all dying without this. So who at work today can you talk to? Well, great. When we see you Wednesday, please have those names ready for us. It was a commitment by all of us that, listen, hundreds or thousands, and all of them need this help. As you've heard us say before, we had our mission statement on the wall is everyone from birth to the grave needs chiropractic for as long as they want to stay healthy. So it's everyone. And so anyone needs to come in here. The next one is testimonies. So a lot of what brings other people in is gathering testimonials. So anytime somebody says they have done any better at all, my headaches went from twice a day to once a day, we have them write a testimonial, but also we have something called the blue sheet. And the blue sheet is a sheet where you put the name of the other people with the same or a similar condition that we should reach out to today. So blue sheets should be flying because people are constantly saying something improved, or people are constantly at a point where it's time to, for me, there's just a lot. It's, hey, we haven't seen a name from Bill today. When he comes in, I'll say right at the front desk, make sure Bill gives you a couple names today. We haven't gotten a name out of Bill forever. Bill knows 250 people at a minimum. He's given us 1 name or 2 names. So blue sheets are flying at the front. Blue sheets are flying around at the re-exam rooms. Blue sheets are flying around in the hot seat area, and certainly a ton of blue sheets going around in an adjusting area because of either the person needs to get more on mission, or because they've said they're doing better, or because they've mentioned other people that they know that could use the help, or because we haven't gotten their immediate family in. Blue sheet, blue sheet, blue sheet. Again, just part of the process, part of the procedure. The video testimonies. My best clients will set a goal per week as to how many video testimonies they'll get. And so they'll post these on Facebook. and other, they've got their own YouTube sites and Vimeo accounts, and they'll utilize these things in a number of ways so that their audience is constantly seeing these things on Facebook. We actually preferably film them with the patient's camera and have the patients immediately upload it to their Facebook page so that all their people are directly seeing this Facebook video. If you text it to the patient, it loses some quality. I'd rather have them text it to me, and I've got a bit more of a rough cut. But in either case, we want the patient directly posting to their Facebook page, as well as us utilizing it for ours. We also will share it. Once they've posted it, we'll share it as well. And we try to get as many people on our team. And I've got some of my team are better in social media than my clinic or my businesses are. So we'll have my team get it out there. Let's just get those testimonials out there at the tune of at least a couple a week. Some of the offices have a goal of 5. And it could be for anything. Hey, I slept better last night. Great. Say that on camera. And we always finish up the testimony with, listen, if you want these same kind of results, then call this number for a free exam, and you can get to experience the exact same thing that Mary did. Some sort of call to action, a phone number, some way to follow up from the video, not just the video itself. And there's best ways to do those videos that I won't get into right now, but get the video. Most important thing is just to capture it. A hot seat video. It's just so easy to have a video playing in the hot seats, one that's running on a loop that you've created, or even just specialty information, that's out there that's easy to get access to, that talks about chiropractic or talks about health, talks against things like drugs, vaccines, surgeries, and utilizing that, though, not just to play and hope that passively somebody refers somebody in, but it becomes fodder. It becomes something that you discuss at the front desk, in the re-exam room, during their adjustments, in the rehab areas. We make sure we're bringing these into the discussions, and it always rolls right back to a blue sheet. Well, who do you know that's out there still vaccinating? Who do you know? You saw that video, and that child no longer has autism. Who do you know where the kids are on the spectrum or have ADHD, hyperactivity disorders? Who do you know? And so, blue sheet, blue sheet, blue sheet as part of the process of just sharing information on a hot seat video. Part of your process should include Google and Yelp reviews. This should just be a patient process. We would expect that every patient at some point during the procedure, throughout the process, would have gotten right on their phone right there, or we've sent them some link, depending on whatever technology you're linked to, and given a review. We expect that of every single patient at some point throughout the process, and it's just part of the procedure. Here's where we get that review. We do a friends and family day. So ideally it's once a month. You do like a Saturday morning, and it's free, or $25 or whatever it is, to bring in those friends and family. These are with family, we have it as a part of our process, once again, that after they've been through the report, that we let them know that we don't make a lot of things mandatory. We don't ask a ton from our patients, but we do ask that everybody gets checked. And we have obviously our scripting that goes into that makes it clear and obvious and really simple that, listen, get the kids in here, get your husband or wife in here, we got to at least check them. However, sometimes there's people that we didn't do that with, or those that fall through the cracks. And so we call this low-hanging fruit. These are the immediate family members, the friends that they've mentioned they know need to get in here, and we get them in here that day. And so we're looking for any number of 10 to 15 people once a month to get in here on a Saturday morning, get themselves evaluated. Day 4, that could be day 3. It depends whenever your conversion ends. So if it's a 2-day conversion, then this is day 3. If it's a 3-day conversion, this is day 4. And this is where, we'll cover their home rehab, but it's also the follow-up to that report where you ask them if they'd help you. And this is where they're going to unload that cell phone onto this piece of paper. And we're going to invite those people in to get a free exam and x-ray or some discounted one. Or a lot of offices will invite all those people to the dinners. So if you're doing your monthly dinners, your bi-weekly dinners, then we're taking those day 4 names and we're moving them over to those invitations. And so if that person did agree to the mission, well, here's the obvious next step. We even tell them at, at that orientation, will you help me? Well, here's your first chance is going to be tomorrow when you come in. Please have in mind the names of people that you want us to reach out to, and we're going to get those on a piece of paper. We're going to invite them in for, again, either some discounted service or to a dinner. And I've got clinics doing $1 million a year that only do dinners for marketing, and it's all leveraged based on day 4. Every new patient who often will have come from a dinner will now also put down the names of the people that would be invited to the next dinner. And so it's this constant rotation of referral and utilizing the dinner process. And again, now you can see why it's not that hard to get 20 referrals for every 200 people you're seeing a week. Last thing I'll share is this, and it's just cultural again, which is that I've got doctors who have done a great job with this. The culture is the mission, and it's all about reaching other people. And then part of that, it's event driven. So it's the last part of the process that we'll cover right now, that it's event driven, so that you would expect engagement. Every business, every organization utilizes engagement as a major part of the measuring stick as to whether or not a customer, patient, member, whatever, is actually doing well with my business, product, or service. And so the way we measure engagement is engagement to the mission, which often is just participation. So are they coming to the dinners with a friend? Are they coming to the talks? Do they realize that these talks are all blockbuster events that you can't miss? They're once in a lifetime opportunities. And so I would encourage you guys to become an event-based office, an event-driven office, because that's the best way to continuously measure, are these patients on mission? Are these patients educated? And when I look into the crystal ball and I examine the future, do I really see these people still here 5 to 10 years from now? And so, engagement is a constant measurement we have. And again, we don't sell anything but mission. If you're not engaged and you're not referring, then it's probably not going to work out here for very long. Either you're going to start engaging, or you're probably going to either leave on your own or actually even be asked to, because we only sell mission here. People are dying out there. We don't want pointers. We want the people that are jumping onto the train tracks and saving people's lives. And that's also just what I want. It's what makes me want to go to work. It's what makes me happy to be there on Monday morning. It's what makes me sort of almost regret that I can't be there on Christmas Eve or New Year's Day, because I love those people. Where none of us are pointers. These are the people I'm on a mission with. This is my army of people that are ready to jump onto the train tracks and save a stranger's life. That's who I want to see on a Monday morning. That's who I want to do life with. And that's why we've built the kind of clinics we've built. So kind of a stretch maybe for some of you, but when we talk about a referral-driven office and easily getting 20 referrals a month for every 200 visits you're seeing, this is the way to do it.